In this moment, abundance surrounds you as a frequency waiting to be accessed. Your role isn't to create abundance, it's already here. Your task is to align with it, to tune in, and let it flow into your life. Today, I'm going to share a daily practice that can rewire your brain, transforming it into a magnet for abundance. This simple yet profound shift has the power to change everything. I've walked the same path many of you are on, pushing harder, working more, trying to force abundance through sheer willpower. It never worked. Everything changed for me when I realized a fundamental truth. Abundance is not something to pursue, it's something you invite into your life through intentional, consistent practice. The first step to unlocking abundance is understanding that your current reality is a reflection of your inner world. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs act as the architects of your life experience. If you've ever felt trapped in cycles of scarcity or struggle, it's not because abundance is unavailable, it's because your internal wiring hasn't yet aligned with the frequency of abundance. This might seem like a bold statement, but consider this. Every time you entertain a thought, you initiate a cascade of biochemical reactions in your brain and body. Your thoughts influence your emotions shape your actions, and your actions create your life. This cycle can either keep you bound to the limitations of the past or free you to embrace the possibilities of a limitless future. But how do you shift this cycle? How do you break free from habitual thought patterns that no longer serve you? The answer lies in deliberate and conscious practice. Practice that rewires your brain and reconditions your body to a new state of being. Let me walk you through this transformative process. The power of setting intention. Before you begin any practice, you must set a clear and powerful intention. Intention is like a beacon in the quantum field. It directs your energy and aligns your focus. Without it, your energy remains scattered and the results you seek remain elusive. When you set an intention, you declare to yourself and the universe, "This is who I am becoming." Take a moment right now to reflect. What does abundance look like for you? More importantly, how does it feel? Is it freedom from financial worry? Is it the joy of giving without limitation? Is it the peace of knowing your needs are always met? Your answers will form the foundation of your practice. Once you've clarified your intention, embody it. Visualize yourself already living that reality. Feel it in your heart. The more vividly you imagine your abundant self, the more energy you send into the quantum field, initiating a process of creation that begins within you. Understanding emotional frequency. Every emotion you experience carries a vibrational frequency. Low-frequency emotions like fear, doubt, and frustration keep you tethered to survival mode, where abundance feels out of reach. High-frequency emotions such as gratitude, love, and joy connect you to the expansive energy of the quantum field, where all possibilities exist. To align with abundance, you must consciously cultivate elevated emotional states. This isn't about denying or suppressing negative emotions. It's about choosing to shift your focus. When you feel gratitude for what you already have, you amplify your energetic signal. When you feel joy as though your dreams have already manifested, you accelerate their arrival. A simple yet profound practice is to begin and end each day with gratitude. List 3 things you're thankful for, but don't stop at the surface. Immerse yourself in the feeling of gratitude. Let it flood your body. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to seek out and amplify positive experiences, creating a new baseline of emotional frequency. The role of visualization. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools for reprogramming your mind. When you vividly imagine a desired outcome, your brain interprets it as reality. This activates specific neural networks, strengthening the connections associated with your desired state. Over time, this process shifts your identity to align with the person who already embodies abundance. Here's a practical exercise. Each morning, sit quietly in a space where you won't be disturbed, close your eyes, and visualize your ideal day as your abundant self. See yourself waking up with excitement, engaging in meaningful activities, and interacting with others from a place of confidence and joy. Feel the emotions that accompany this vision: gratitude, fulfillment, peace. The more sensory-rich your visualization, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. Overcoming resistance. As you embark on this journey, it's natural to encounter resistance. Your old self, conditioned by years of habitual thinking, may try to pull you back into familiar patterns of doubt and limitation. You might hear the voice of your past whispering, This won't work. Understand that this resistance isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of transformation. When resistance arises, use it as an opportunity to practice mastery. Instead of fighting it, observe it with curiosity. Ask yourself, what belief or emotion is trying to hold on? Then, consciously choose a new response. Return to your breath. Anchor yourself in the elevated emotions of your future. Every time you do this, you weaken the hold of your past and strengthen your alignment with abundance. Reclaiming the morning. The early hours of the morning are a sacred time. Before your analytical mind fully wakes up and the demands of the day intrude, your brain is in a state of heightened receptivity. This is when you have the greatest power to reprogram your subconscious and align with your desired reality. Create a morning routine that sets the tone for your day. Begin with mindful breathing, slow, deep breaths that calm your nervous system and anchor you in the present moment. Follow this with a brief visualization of your abundant self, immersing yourself in the feelings of joy, gratitude, and possibility. End with an affirmation, a simple yet powerful statement that declares your intention, such as, I am abundant, I am worthy, I am creating the life I desire. Consistency is key. This practice doesn't need to take more than 15 minutes, but it must be done daily. Think of it as tending a garden. Each day you water the seeds of abundance, and over time they blossom into reality. Living as your future self. Here's the ultimate shift. Start living as though your future has already arrived. Make decisions, take actions, and carry yourself in a way that aligns with the person you're becoming. This isn't about pretending or faking, it's about embodying the energy of your future self in the present moment. Ask yourself throughout the day, what would my future self do? Would they dwell on scarcity, or would they act from a place of trust and possibility? By consistently choosing thoughts, emotions, and actions that align with your vision, you train your brain and body to normalize abundance. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but with each small intentional step, you're building momentum. Your daily practice is the bridge between who you are now and who you're becoming. Stay committed, and you'll not only transform your life, you'll become a magnet for the limitless possibilities that await you. Let me share a pivotal moment from my own life. Years ago, after a devastating spinal injury, I was told I might never walk again. Confined to a hospital bed, I began a daily practice of visualization and mental rehearsal. Over 9 weeks, I discovered something extraordinary. Our thoughts are not just abstract notions, they are energy, generating magnetic fields that interact with the quantum field of infinite possibilities. Here's the fascinating part. Your brain can't tell the difference between what's real in your outer world and what you vividly imagine in your inner world. Each thought fires specific neural networks. When you pair those thoughts with elevated emotions, you broadcast a powerful signal to the quantum field. Neuroscience has revealed something profound. Consistent thought patterns combined with heightened emotional states don't just change your mindset, they reshape your brain. You begin to create new neural pathways dedicated to abundance. And that's exactly what this daily practice is designed to help you achieve. The secret lies in the early hours of the morning before your analytical mind fully engages, before the world's demands infiltrate your consciousness. You have a unique window of opportunity to reprogram your brain for abundance. This is when your mind is most malleable, and the work you do here sets the tone for your entire day. Here's something extraordinary. Each of us is connected to a quantum field, a limitless realm of possibilities that responds to your consciousness. This isn't mystical thinking. It's grounded in quantum physics. The observer effect demonstrates that consciousness directly influences matter at the smallest subatomic levels. Think about it. Your thoughts don't stay confined to your brain. When you think, you generate electrical impulses that create magnetic fields. These fields extend beyond your body and can be measured by science using tools like magnetoencephalography. In essence, your thoughts broadcast electromagnetic signals that interact with the world around you. Your brain operates on different frequencies throughout the day. Most people spend their time in beta brain waves, highly analytical, survival-oriented states fueled by stress. This is the mode of checking your phone, worrying about deadlines, and living in reaction to life. But stress is the byproduct of survival, not creation. To shift out of this state, you need to slow your brain waves to alpha or theta frequencies. This is where meditation comes in. These slower brain waves allow you to bypass the analytical mind, making you more receptive to new ideas and beliefs. In this state, you can begin to program your brain for abundance. Every time you think a thought, it triggers specific circuits in your brain. Pairing that thought with a powerful emotion like gratitude or joy activates chemicals that influence every cell in your body. Repeatedly thinking the same thoughts and feeling the same emotions strengthens those neural networks, much like building muscles at the gym. The challenge is that most people unknowingly train their brains to default to patterns of lack, limitation, and scarcity. They wake up and immediately relive the stress and worries of yesterday. Within minutes, their thoughts and emotions reinforce the same circuits, keeping them trapped in the past. Here's the good news. Your brain is neuroplastic. It can form new neural connections at any age. By practicing new thoughts about abundance, paired with elevated emotions like gratitude and possibility, you create new neural pathways. Over time, you literally rewire your brain to recognize and attract abundance. Imagine tuning a radio. Most people are tuned to the frequency of their past, their old stories of limitation. But abundance operates on a different frequency. Through consistent practice, you can adjust your mental and emotional dial to align with abundance. The quantum field doesn't respond to occasional positive thinking or sporadic visualization. It responds to coherent, consistent brainwave patterns. This is why daily practice is so essential. Think of it like learning a new skill or language you wouldn't expect fluency after one lesson. The same principle applies to programming your brain for abundance. Your brain's default mode network, its tendency to revert to familiar patterns, makes creating lasting change challenging. But with focused, regular practice, you're not just thinking differently, you're physically changing your brain structure. You're building new pathways that make abundance your default state. Hebb's law states, neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you consciously choose new thoughts and feelings, you're strengthening your abundance circuits. Over time, these new patterns become second nature. They become who you are. So start today. Begin tuning your mind to the frequency of abundance. Commit to consistent daily practice, and you'll move from living in survival mode to a life of creation where abundance flows naturally and effortlessly. It's not just about thinking differently, it's about becoming someone new. Let me share something that might surprise you. Most people stay stuck in repetitive patterns, not because they lack the desire to change, but because they've become biologically addicted to their familiar emotional states. Here's the key. Your body cannot distinguish between emotions triggered by an external event and those generated purely by thought. Every thought you have produces chemicals in your brain, which your body then responds to. If you've spent years entertaining thoughts of scarcity and feeling emotions like lack or fear, your body becomes accustomed, addicted even to those chemical states. Think of it like an internal pharmacy that dispenses the same emotional drugs day after day. Over time, your cells develop receptors specifically tuned to those chemicals, and they begin to crave them. This is why, when you attempt to think differently, your body instinctively pulls you back to those familiar emotions. It's simply trying to maintain its biochemical balance. Here's how it usually unfolds. You wake up in the morning, and within moments, your mind replays the same stresses, limitations, and worries of yesterday. You think about your bills, your workload, or unresolved issues. Instantly, your body responds with a flood of the same chemicals it's used to, reinforcing those emotional patterns. Before you've even started your day, you're already locked into a loop of the past, and your body, the mind of habit, takes over. It drags your conscious thoughts back into alignment with its programming, keeping you stuck in the same cycle. To break free, you need a practice that interrupts this cycle. And here's where things might feel challenging at first. You need to start thinking greater than you feel. Feelings, after all, are residues of past experiences. If you wait for your feelings to change before you change your thoughts, you'll remain stuck indefinitely. The secret lies in taking control before your body's habitual emotions take hold. This is why morning practice is so transformative. In the early moments after you wake up, your mind is in a unique state of receptivity before your analytical brain fully engages and your body begins to crave its familiar emotional states. You have a window of opportunity to create something new. This is your chance to break free from the old and start reprogramming your brain. Most people live by the outdated model of reality, waiting for external circumstances to shift so they can feel better internally. They wait for their finances to improve, their relationships to heal, or their health to recover, hoping these changes will bring happiness. But this cause and effect approach belongs to the old paradigm of Newtonian physics. The new paradigm, rooted in quantum physics, teaches us that we must feel the emotions of our desired future before that future can manifest in our lives. To experience abundance, you must first feel abundant. To heal, you must first feel whole. To attract love, you must first embody it. This is the essence of the law of attraction. Consistent, intentional practice that aligns your energy with your desired reality. When you sit down each morning for your practice, you are literally constructing new neural networks. You're teaching your body a new emotional state. It may feel difficult at first because you're going against years or even decades of ingrained programming. Your body might resist and your mind might whisper, "This isn't working." That's just the old self trying to hold on. But every time you hold your focus and maintain these elevated emotions, you're breaking the addiction to your past self. You're proving that your mind is greater than matter, that you are the master of your energy. Consistency is the key to this transformation. Even when results aren't immediate, trust the process. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're reshaping your energy field, rewiring your brain, and creating new genetic expressions. Think of it like building a muscle. You wouldn't expect to see dramatic changes after one workout. The same principle applies here. Each morning practice is a deposit in your abundance account, and over time, those deposits compound. What's remarkable is that once you've practiced long enough to establish these new neural networks, the process becomes easier. Your new thoughts and emotions start to feel natural. Your body begins to crave the elevated states of gratitude, joy, and abundance. At this point, you're no longer battling your old programming, you've created a new one. You've designed a new normal. This is what I mean by breaking the habit of being yourself. Through consistent practice, you're not just thinking differently, you're becoming someone new. Every morning, as you sit down to meditate or visualize, you're not just engaging in a practice, you're rewriting your future. You're stepping into a new version of yourself, one aligned with the life you desire. To make this transformation even more powerful, create an environment that supports your practice. Choose a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Turn off your phone completely, don't just silence it. Your body can sense when your phone is on, and part of your attention remains tethered to potential interruptions. Remove anything restrictive, like watches or tight clothing, and sit in a position that allows energy to flow freely, upright but relaxed. Now, let's begin with the breath. Take long, slow inhales, expanding your belly as you draw in air, and exhale fully. Feel your abdomen rise and fall with each breath. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, shifting you from stress to calm. With each inhale, imagine you're drawing in pure potential and abundance from the quantum field. With each exhale, release old patterns and limitations. The magic lies in this intentional, focused effort. With every breath, every visualization, and every moment spent in elevated emotional states, you're not just thinking about change, you're creating it. You're aligning your energy with the life you're ready to live. Try this right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 5, hold it for 5 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for another count of 5. Repeat this a few times, and notice how your mind begins to quiet down. This simple exercise shifts you from active beta brainwaves, often associated with stress and survival, into calming alpha and theta states. Now, as you continue to breathe, direct your attention to your heart. The heart generates an electromagnetic field that is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's quote. When you breathe with focus on your heart, you activate a state known as heart coherence. This isn't just theory, it's scientifically measurable. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that heart coherence allows you to tap into higher states of consciousness and deep inner clarity. Here's where many people go wrong. They try to think their way into abundance. But thoughts are only the language of the brain, while feelings are the language of the body. To align with abundance, you must move beyond merely thinking about it and start feeling it deeply. This aligns with the quantum principle that says your future manifests when you feel its emotions in the present. Begin generating elevated emotions right now. Feel gratitude as though the abundance you desire has already manifested. Imagine the joy of financial freedom, the exhilaration of unlimited opportunities, or the peace of complete security. Your body doesn't differentiate between a vividly imagined experience and one that is real. When you combine a clear intention with elevated emotions, you broadcast a powerful signal to the quantum field. Let me explain why this matters. The quantum field is highly responsive to coherent emotional states. When you feel gratitude, joy, or freedom, your heart's electromagnetic field becomes more organized, creating a ripple effect that interacts with the quantum field. This alignment begins to shape your external circumstances to match your internal state. During your practice, it's normal for old thoughts to surface and try to pull you back into familiar patterns. Don't resist these thoughts. Resistance only strengthens them. Instead, gently return your focus to your breath and the elevated emotions you're cultivating. Each time you choose abundance over lack, you are rewiring your brain and reinforcing new neural pathways. Here's a technique to amplify this process. Don't just visualize abundance, immerse yourself in it. Step into that reality with all your senses. What does abundance feel like in your body? How does it smell, taste, or sound? Imagine how you walk, talk, and make decisions when you are living in complete abundance. Make it so vivid that your brain and body believe it is happening right now. This is critical. The quantum field responds to who you are being, not what you are wishing for. Many people inadvertently reinforce scarcity by focusing on what they lack. Instead, embody abundance, fully feel it in every cell. Let it inform every breath, and watch as your outer reality starts to shift in response. As you deepen into this practice, you might notice tingling sensations, waves of energy, or even emotional releases. These are signs that you're shifting your energy field, literally changing your quantum signature. Don't overanalyze these sensations, as that pulls you back into beta brainwaves. Simply observe and continue your practice. The final step in this process is to surrender your vision to the quantum field. Let go of trying to control how or when abundance will show up. The analytical mind often wants to figure out every detail, but this limits the infinite possibilities available to you. Trust that when your energy shifts, your life must follow suit. Before ending your practice, take a moment to feel profound gratitude. Be thankful for the opportunities about to unfold and for your ability to connect with a field of infinite potential. Gratitude amplifies your signal to the universe and solidifies the new patterns you've created. When you open your eyes, don't rush to check your phone or jump into your daily tasks. Allow your body to integrate this new energy. Remember, this isn't just a meditation, it's a practice of reprogramming your electromagnetic field and aligning with the frequency of abundance. Make this practice a non-negotiable part of your morning routine. Don't wait until you feel motivated, that's the old self rising. Change happens when you commit to this daily ritual, just as you would to brushing your teeth. Each session reshapes your brain, rewrites your energy, and reorganizes the quantum field to bring your desired future closer. Your future self, the one who is abundant, confident, and fulfilled, already exists as a possibility in the quantum field. When you truly grasp this, you stop striving to get there and start calling that version of yourself into the present. Most people recreate the future from their past by being their past selves. But when you align with the emotions and mindset of your future self, you break free from the cycle and step into a new reality. Every morning, instead of replaying the problems of your current life, focus on the person you're becoming. This isn't make-believe, it's activating a possibility that already exists. Mental rehearsal is key. Olympic athletes use it to build neural pathways identical to those created through physical practice. You can do the same. Close your eyes and see yourself as that future self who has already achieved everything you're working toward. How do they start their day? What thoughts do they think? What choices do they make? Don't just think about it. Feel it in your body. Let your body believe it's real right now. When your future self walks into a room, how do they carry themselves? What energy do they bring? How do they approach decisions about money, relationships, or health? You're not pretending to be someone else. You're embodying the highest version of yourself, one that already exists as a possibility. Here's the challenge. You can't become your future self while holding on to the emotional addictions of your past. Emotions are chemical signatures of past experiences. To align with your future, you need to practice feeling the emotions of that future self until they become second nature. For instance, your future abundant self doesn't feel anxiety when checking their bank account, they feel secure and confident. Start practicing that emotional state now. Feel abundance when looking at your finances, regardless of the numbers. This is how you shift your energy and, in turn, your reality. Instead of waiting for external changes to transform how you feel inside, change how you feel now and watch as your outer world reorganizes itself to match. This is the path to becoming supernatural in your daily life. Let me share a tangible example with you. Your future abundant self doesn't wake up consumed by anxiety over finances. They don't check their bank account out of fear. Instead, they approach every financial decision with wisdom and confidence. Start practicing those emotions now. When you look at your current financial situation, feel the same sense of security and abundance your future self embodies. This is how you begin to transcend the ordinary and step into a supernatural way of living. Rather than waiting for external circumstances to shift how you feel inside, shift your inner state first. Watch as your outer world adjusts to reflect your new energy. This isn't wishful thinking, it's the application of quantum principles. Each decision you make presents an opportunity to ask yourself, what would my future self do? But don't approach this with obligation. Approach it from a place of already being that person. Would your future self skip their morning alignment practice? Would they act out of fear or compromise their energy for fleeting comfort? The answer is clear. This process works because, as you consistently embody your future self, your entire personality begins to evolve. Your personality, made up of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, literally transforms. Don't be surprised if those around you notice. Friends and family might comment, "You're not the same person anymore," and they'll be right. The challenge is to stay aligned with this new version of yourself even before your external reality reflects it. This is where most people falter. They practice embodying their future self, but when immediate results don't show up, they revert to old patterns. Remember, your current reality is simply a projection of past thoughts and emotions. It takes time for the external world to realign with your new energy signature. Your future self understands that abundance isn't about acquiring more, it's about becoming more. They don't chase opportunities, they attract them by holding a consistent field of abundance. They don't hope for a better future, they create it by embodying it in the present. Begin living as though your future has already arrived. Dress each day as your future self would. Speak with the confidence and clarity of someone already living that reality. Make decisions about your time, energy, and relationships as your future self would. This isn't about faking it until you make it. It's about being it until you become it. Faking it comes from scarcity. Being it comes from knowing. Here's the truth. In the quantum field, time doesn't exist. Your future self isn't waiting in some distant someday, they're available to you now. Every time you align with that energy, every time you make decisions from that empowered state, you collapse infinite possibilities into your present experience. You're not just dreaming of a new destiny, you're actively creating it. Let's address the common obstacles. The greatest challenge isn't external, it's internal. The moment your body, conditioned by years of past experiences, resists your new future, doubt will creep in. Your mind will whisper, "This isn't working," or "Why is this taking so long?" Recognize these thoughts for what they are, remnants of old neural pathways clinging to survival. Doubt is simply your past, attempting to dictate your future. But here's the opportunity. Every time you feel doubt, you're presented with a chance to deepen your certainty. Don't fight the doubt. It only creates resistance. Instead, return to your breath, center your awareness in your heart, and reconnect with the energy of knowing. Distractions are another test. Your phone might ring, responsibilities may demand your attention, or life's chaos might try to pull you back into familiar patterns. This is why creating boundaries around your practice is essential. Your commitment to your future must outweigh the pull of your current circumstances. Wake up earlier if necessary. Find a quiet, sacred space. Protect this time as if your transformation depends on it, because it does. When distractions arise, don't resist them. Resistance breeds more of the same energy that keeps you stuck. Instead, see each interruption as an opportunity to strengthen your focus and maintain your elevated state. Your future self isn't easily derailed by the unexpected. They maintain their coherence regardless of external noise. Now, let's address the addiction to time. Most people live in a linear timeline, always waiting for the right moment or for everything to be just perfect. But in the quantum field, there is no time. Your future isn't coming, it's already happening. Every time you think, "When this happens, I'll feel abundant," you push your future further away. Start making decisions as though time doesn't exist. Act from the end result now. Consistency is where most people stumble. They practice for a few days or weeks, only to fall back into old habits. Here's the key. It's better to practice for 15 focused minutes every single day than to have sporadic marathon sessions. Your brain and body require repetition to solidify new neural pathways. Set yourself up for success by creating a practice that's sustainable. Make a non-negotiable agreement with yourself. This isn't something you do when it's convenient, it's something you commit to because it defines who you are becoming. Your future self doesn't skip days. They don't make excuses. They show up consistently because they understand that dedication bridges the gap between who they are and who they're becoming. When you commit to this practice, despite doubts, distractions, or obstacles, you're rewiring your brain to operate on a higher frequency. You're training your body to hold a new energy field. And as you persist, you'll find yourself transforming into someone entirely new. When that happens, the quantum field will have no choice but to reorganize your external reality to match who you've become. When you commit fully to this practice, subtle yet profound changes will start to unfold in your reality. Your body will begin to signal that transformation is underway. You may experience unexpected waves of energy coursing through you. Some describe tingling sensations, shifts in sleep patterns, or even sudden bursts of inspiration. These aren't random occurrences. They're evidence that your nervous system is recalibrating to hold higher vibrational frequencies. Pay attention to your emotional state as you move through your day. Challenges that once triggered stress or frustration will begin to feel more manageable. You'll notice yourself responding with a newfound sense of calm and clarity. This isn't just positive thinking. It's your nervous system operating at a more elevated state. You'll also begin to see synchronicities in your life. Perhaps you think of someone and they call you moments later, or you need something and it appears unexpectedly. Opportunities will present themselves seemingly out of nowhere, and the right people will show up just when you need them. What some might call coincidence or luck, you'll recognize as the quantum field responding to the energetic signature you're now broadcasting. Notice the shifts in your relationships. Some people may start treating you differently without knowing why, responding instinctively to your elevated energy. Others may naturally drift away as their frequency no longer aligns with yours. While that might feel uncomfortable at first, remember it's part of the process. Simultaneously, new relationships will begin to form, reflecting your higher level of consciousness. Your external circumstances will also begin to transform, often in ways that feel magical. Unexpected opportunities will arise. Financial resources might appear from surprising places. Projects you once struggled to push forward will start to flow with ease. This isn't magic, it's physics. You've stopped operating solely by cause and effect and have shifted into creating through the quantum field. Understand that none of this is random. These changes are direct feedback from the universe, proof that your practice is working. You're no longer the same person projecting the same energy. You've shifted, and the quantum field is reorganizing reality to align with your new frequency. This is scientific validation that your daily efforts are literally reshaping your destiny. The most powerful step you can take right now is to commit to this practice not just for a day, not when it feels convenient, but for 30 days straight, without exception. This commitment is your opportunity to break free from the patterns of your past and step boldly into a new future. Imagine that in just 1 month of consistent dedication, you can rewire your brain, realign your energy field, and transform your relationship with abundance. But this commitment has to be bigger than your current circumstances, bigger than fleeting feelings, and bigger than the pull of your past. Your future self is calling you forward, the version of you that lives in abundance, makes decisions rooted in possibility, and thrives as a creator rather than a reactor. This is who you are becoming through your practice. What stands between you and that future is your willingness to show up every single morning and do the work. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait to feel ready. The quantum field doesn't respond to hesitation, it responds to commitment. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to choose, to step out of the shadow of your past and into the light of your future. This is your time. The life of limitation is behind you. The era of abundance is here. Commit to this practice and watch as the extraordinary unfolds. Your new reality is waiting. Will you step into it? The journey begins tomorrow morning, bright and early. Let's walk this path of transformation together.